What is up, you guys? It is Dylan back again with another video from Carnage Outdoors. Today we're out of Hillsborough Inlet. We're going to catch a lobster. Got a late start on the day, but we're going to try to catch our limit of 12 lobster in under an hour. Let's see if we can do it. So welcome underwater. This is something pretty cool I saw as soon as I jumped in the water. I don't see these things very often. This is a spotted eagle ray, so thought that was pretty cool. This is the first lobster of the day. Went down, saw him. You'll see right here my looper comes apart. This is a new one that I made. I was just trying to test it out, but I forgot to put the PVC glue onto the PVC that I used, but I was still able to put it back together and catch this lobster. I switched the looper I was using after this because I didn't want to have to deal with that, but it looked like it was going to work after I switched the glue. Spot number 2. First spot had nothing on it. I'm pretty sure we were diving behind a different boat, so he already hit that spot, but nobody around here, so should be a good reef. Let you know. So we move spots here, and this is a nice little ledge that I have marked that tends to hold a good amount of lobster. This one I saw under there, and I'm going to try and poke him out and catch him up. He's a little bit difficult to catch where he is right here, so just going to move him, have an opportunity to catch him, but he's not really giving me the right angle. Right here he goes in the looper, and I could have got him, but he took off, went back into the wedge. So I'm going to push him back out to the left side again, try and get myself an opportunity, and he goes into another rock. So I go up to the surface to try and get my air so I can go back down and get him. So here's the next dive with that same lobster. Right now I'm just looking to see if I should push him towards me or push him out of the rock, but I decided to push him out the backside to get him over there. And he's kind of hanging out under this little overpass here, so I'm trying to move him just a little bit to give myself the opportunity to catch him. And he goes and tries to use this coral to hide from me, but I'm able to get the looper around his tail here and catch him. I think this one ended up being a little short, so we let him go. So this here's a little bit further down on the same ledge, and as you can see there's 2 nice lobster in this little spot here. Both really nice size ones that are pretty easy to catch, so I catch this one up. And I'm gonna go hold on to him, and right now I'm deciding whether I want to go after that second one on this dive or bring that one up to the surface and come back down, but I ended up deciding to just bring this one up to the surface and come back down so I don't run out of air. So this here is when I went back down to catch that other one. He also was pretty easy to catch. Get the looper right behind him. He moves just a little bit there, but I get it back behind him again here. Pushes out just back to where he was before, and I'm able to get the cable around his tail right here and catch him up. I had my dad pass me a bag because I had seen a few more lobster in this area, so throw them in there, and I'm moving on to the next couple lobster. So this rock here was on top of the reef right by the little ledge where I caught those other lobster. This lobster just walked right out to me, pretty easy to catch. Get the looper around his tail, and gonna measure him up, make sure he's good. Which I do right here, and he's easily good, so I drop him in the bag and move on to the next lobster. So this here is on the same rock that I had caught that last one on. This is on the other side of it where it's a little bit harder to access them, so I'm going to push these lobster back to where I had caught that other one, which is what I'm doing right here, pushing them over to that other side. And you'll see here there's 2 more lobster right here, and I'm going to go after this one, and he moves, so it gives me another opportunity right here, and I just touched him the wrong way, and he takes off and goes under this other rock, so I follow him over there. So this here is the next dive when I had followed that other lobster. He kind of wedged himself under this rock here, so I'm just going to try and push him out, which I do right here, and he goes across the reef. He's trying to run away from me, but I'm able to track him down and trying to get in front of him here so I can get the looper behind him and stop him from walking, which I do right here.
and I catch him up and I'm gonna swim over to the bag and add him to it. So right after I caught those other lobster, I found this one under this rock. I could have just reached my hand in there and grabbed him, but I prefer not to do that when I'm free diving, especially by myself, because I almost drowned doing it once. So I just get the looper behind him, and right here I get him. And this one's pretty cool. He's got some cool colors on his antennas, some purple and stuff, so pretty cool one to catch. So this is something that you don't see every day. We had just recently had Hurricane Helene come through, so there was a lot of floating debris. This is some kind of pallet or something, and tons of fish and life around it. So this was a new spot that I had never dove before. I found this nice coral head, so wanted to check it out. So there's 2 lobster right there. Catch this one. End up measuring him here, and ends up being just a little bit short. But bringing him up to the surface to catch my breath, because on this next dive I want to go down, measure this one, throw him in the bag if he's legal. If he's not, I'm going to let him go, which he ends up being. And I want to catch the other lobster there on the same dive, so that's what I do right here. Taking my dive down and measuring this one, and he's going to end up being short, which is right here. And then now I'm going after that other one, which was a little bit bigger. Which I'm doing right here. Gonna try and push him off to that left side where I caught that other one. And right now I have the opportunity to catch him, which I do. And this one ends up being a little bigger than the other one, so he was added to the bag. And bring him up to the surface and go back down and measure him. So this here is on the same coral head that I had caught those other 2 lobster on, but on the other side of it, this one's kind of just standing out there, and I just touched him the wrong way and he shoots out. It's kind of hard to do this free diving when it's a little bit rough out and the waves are pushing you around, especially when you don't have a weight belt, but I'm in the water by myself, so I want to err on the side of caution and not use the weight belt. But still able to catch this one, and I believe this one ended up being a keeper, so I threw him in the bag. So this was the next coral head down the line. This spot was pretty cool, and I had never found it before. It was just like a nice line of coral heads, and it seemed like all of them were holding lobster. This one was kind of just sticking his head out of this hole, and made it pretty easy for me to catch him. I got the looper right behind him here, and I get the cable around his tail, catch him up. And this is a pretty nice one, so I'm just going to go add him to the bag and move on to the next one. And I think there's one more in this coral head on the other side, so you'll see that on the next dive. So this here is the next dive on that same coral head, just on the other side of it. And there's one more lobster in here, and he was not too difficult to catch either. He's kind of just hanging out under this, and I'm gonna get the looper on him, which I do right here. Get him out, and gonna bring him over to the bag, make sure he's good to keep. Measuring him right here, and he is easily legal, so I drop him in the bag, and we're gonna move on to the next lobster. So here's another nice coral head with a pretty easy to catch lobster hanging up there at the top of the screen. And I'm pushing him around, trying to get the right angle to get him. It's hard to see it in here because he's kind of under there, but I'm going to swim around to the other side. I pushed him all the way through, and he gives me a nice opportunity right here, which I catch him. And I'm swimming him over to my bag to make sure he's good to keep. And right here I'm going to measure him, and he's good, so I drop him in the bag. Keep it going, almost at that limit. So at this point here, we are at 11 lobster, and I need one more to keep. I found this nice rock with 4 lobster under it, so I'm thinking I'm gonna limit right here, no problem. So I'm gonna go take a look, see which one the biggest is. I think it's that one in the front there, so I'm gonna try and catch him and think I'm gonna be done. So here I'm on the next dive, and I'm going after to catch my one last lobster. Figuring out which one I want to catch. If you see there on the left side of the screen, that was a scorpion fish, and in one of my previous videos I got stung. But I push the one over to the other side that I think is going to be the biggest, and I think he's going to be legal, so I catch him, and I think I'm done for the day, so I go over and grab my bag, but when I get him up to the surface, I measure him, and he's short, so I gotta let him go after one of the other ones in there, which I end up doing right here. So here I'm going after the next one that I think might be legal, swimming down to figure out which one that might be. So I'm going to stick my looper in here, try and catch one. And which I do right here. Should be pretty easy. You can see them all in there. There's a nice couple of them. So this one I catch him up, and this is the only other one that I think could be legal. So here I measure him, and he is pretty short. So got to move on to the next rock. So here I moved on to the next rock, and I found a nice lobster that I believe is bigger than the other ones. So I had passed my bag up to my dad because it was getting kind of heavy carrying it around freediving. And this one didn't make it too hard for me. Try loop him up right there, get him up, and realize that I am done for the day. Got our limit, got our 12 lobsters, so we're going home to have a nice dinner. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the surface.
So that should do it. We got our limit. We're going home. 12 lobster. Took a little longer than I thought. It took about 2 hours, but we got them. We're going home. A little tough conditions when you're free diving and you're getting sloshed around by the waves, but it is what it is. We got it done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.